Loop is one of the scary topic for most of the beginner, but believe me guys, it's not that scary. It's actually easy concept to understand and easy code to write. So with the help of this particular lecture, I'll try to explain you what is loop, especially what is for loop in this particular chapter. Going forward, obviously, I'm going to explain you even a while loop, even a break and continuous statement. Even I'll try to show you a comprehension, but in this particular lecture, I'll try to solve your problem. So which is basically a scary part of the loop, so that you all will be able to understand a loop and you will be able to solve a problem with not just one or two examples, with so many examples and so many permutation combination. But you all have to write a code with me. You all have to practice, then only it is going to be easy. So let's get started and let's write a loop. So first of all, I'll try to take an example of a list over here. So in this list, I have a couple of elements, as you can see, right? Now, if someone is asking you a question that try to extract each and every element which is available inside this particular list one by one, okay, fine. So with the help of list indexing operation, I will be able to access it. That's pretty much easy for me. And yes, each and every element I will be able to access. But here at a time, I'm just able to access one single element. But what if I would like to access all the element in an autonomous mode, one by one, if I would like to access each and every element. So how I will be able to do that? The simple example which I'm going to explain over here is a loop. So first of all, let's try to understand what is for loop. So for is a reserved keyword inside Python. And here, what we can try to do is we can try to write in this way for I in L. Now, just try to print what? So print I. Now, if I have written this particular loop, this is something called as loop. Now, for is a reserved keyword, in is a reserved keyword, print is a inbuilt function. Now, what is the meaning of this entire loop? How it is able to extract a data one by one automatically? Let me explain you in a manual fashion. So here, what I have written. So I have written for I in L. Okay, fine. What is this L? So L is basically this particular list. Now inside this list, we have multiple element 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And we all know that that list always try to store a data with the help of indexing. So by default, list is going to give a indexes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And even in reverse direction, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6. In this way, it is going to give the complete indexing in a forward direction as well as into a reverse direction. Now, what this loop is going to perform, how this loop is going to access this entire element. So here I'm writing for I in L. So first of all, it will go to the list. Okay. So it will come over here. It will come in this particular place, and then it will by default. So as I'm not writing any kind of a reverse order, so here by default, it will try to start from where? It will try to start from a 0th indexes. At 0th indexes, what is the data that we have? So data is equals to 1. This is the data that we have at 0th indexes. So first of all, it will go to the 0th indexes starting point. Yes. And then it will try to extract this data. So it is going to extract what? It is going to extract 1 out of this entire list. Okay, fine. So it is going to extract 1 out of it. And then in I, it will try to assign this value. I is equals to 1. So I is nothing but it's a local variable for loop. I can try to place my name. I can try to place your name. Doesn't matter at all. I can try to keep this variable name, anything that we want. And then it will come over here, which is our next indentation block. And here I'm trying to perform what? Print I. So whatever is the value of I, print it. Okay. So print 1. Then again, it will go as it's a loop, right? So it will keep on looking for a data. Keep on looking for a data unless and until it is not going to exhaust this entire collection. Okay, fine. So again, it will go to the next element of the list. So again, pointer will move over here. It will try to extract this particular data. I is equals to what? I is equals to 2. So as of now, I is equal to 2. So print it in a next line. Then again, it will go back as it's a loop. So it will go to the 3, right? I is equals to what? I is equals to 3. Print I. So print 3. Then again, it will go to the next element 4. Okay. So I is equal to what? I is equal to 4. So print I. So print 4. Again, it will start looking for the data. So I will be what? I will be again 4. So print I. So 4 it is going to print. Then again, we'll go to the data, right? Extract 5. I is equals to what? I is equals to 5. Print 5. So yes, it is able to print 5. Again, it will go back to the data. Now there is no such element beyond this particular 5. So if there is no such element, in this case, loop will try to terminate itself. Loop will try to exhaust itself, and then you will be able to see the complete information. So one by one, it is going to the data in the order which we have written a code. So as of now, I'm simply writing for I in L. Okay, for I in L, I'm just trying to write. So every time it will try to increment the indexes, it will try to increment a position in which it is looking for a data automatically, and it is going to give you the final outcome. It is going to give you the final data set. This is how for loop is going to work in case of Python. So in case of Python, loop is very simple. If I'll talk about maybe other languages, Java, right? So over there, we try to write for I is equals to 0, I is lesser than equal to n, and then I plus plus. This is what we try to write in general. Again, this is not a standard approach. This is not a standard which I'm trying to showcase. But here, so in case of any other loop in any other languages, in most of the languages, I'll not generalize this particular part, but in most of the languages, there will be a starting point, and then there will be a breakpoint where it will try to stop. It will always try to check the condition, and then there will be an increment operator. So one by one, it will keep on looking for the data. It will keep on extracting it. Now with this extraction, whatever operation that you would like to perform, you can just try to perform it. Okay. So this is how, guys, loop is going to work. Now this is one of the basic example, but in this entire lecture, I'm not just going to take this example. I'll show you a variety of an example. Now let's try to understand one more thing. So here, let's suppose I'm looking for an element. I'm looking for an element from a list, but this time I'm looking for a square of each and every element. A square of every element which is available inside this particular list. I don't want to print this element directly, but I would like to print the square of the element. So how I will be able to do it? So fine, let's try to print L over here. What I can do is I can write for I in L, so that it will be able to extract a data one by one, and then try to print, print, print what? So whatever I that we are able to fetch, right? Just try to do a square of it. Simple. So here what I'm trying to do, so I'm just trying to do a square of it. Now execute. You will be able to find out that 1 of a square 1, 2 of a square 4, 3 of a square 9, 4 of a square 16, 4 of a square 16, 5 of a square 25. So in this fashion, in this order, it will try to give you the data. So yes, I'm able to fetch a data one by one, and I'm able to perform some sort of operations with respect to this one. Like I said, this I is not an hard and fast variable name. I can try to give my name as well. This is just a local variable where it is going to hold a data for that particular iterations. That's it. For that particular instance of a loop, it is going to hold a data. So I can try to give even my name over here, and it is going to work fine for me. It is going to work in an exact same way, the way it was working before. Okay, fine. Now there is another situation in front of me with respect to our same list. So this is the list that we have. Okay. Now, someone is asking me that try to go through all of this data one by one, then try to do a square of it. Okay, a square of it, and finally try to return a list. Here it is not giving me a list, it is giving me an individual element because we have a print. So print and then break of line, then again print, then break of line, then again print, then break of line. So it is trying to extract a data one by one, and then it is trying to print it in a new line. This is what print does. So by default, it is going to apply a new line, and then it will try to print a data into a new line. But this time I'm not looking for a data into a new line. I'm looking for a final one single list in which I have to hold the complete square of the data. I can do that as well. So I'm going to create one list, which is going to be an empty list. Okay, fine. So I'm going to create a empty list over here. Then what I will do is I'll try to go through this original list. this particular list. I'll try to go through it one by one, one by one. Now, I'll try to extract a data. So basically, first of all, I'll try to extract 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, and then 4, and then 5. So one by one, I'll try to extract a data, and then means I will be having a data. Okay. I'm looking for one final list. So here is an empty list which I have created. Fine. Now in this empty list, I have to hold all the data after an operation. Let's try to hold it. So here L1.append, I believe we have already discussed about the append function. So append, what it does, so it will always try to append a data at the end. Okay, that's fine. So L1.append. Now what we are going to append, so whatever data it is trying to extract, means whatever I it is trying to extract, just try to do a square of it and then try to append it into a new empty list. And then finally, I'll come out of this indentation and then try to print maybe L1. As you can see, it is giving me a final list where it is holding a square of each and every information, each and every data. So again, it's a very simple thing. Loop is trying to go through this one by one, one by one, one by one, one by one, trying to bring I and then trying to do a square of I, appending it. And finally, I'm trying to print it once my loop will be closed. Okay, fine. Now, if I would like to see that what it is trying to perform in between, so maybe I can try to write even print L1 over here with the same indentation. Now here you will be able to get a complete flow that how system is working internally. So here, first of all, it will try to fetch a value of I. Value of I is equals to 1. Okay, try to do a square of 1, append it. So this is the list. In a first iteration, it will create. Then in a second iteration, it will look for the 2, next element, then extract 2, value of I is equal to 2, then do the square of 2 and then append it. So this is the list it will try to create at the iteration of second iteration basically. Then in a third iteration, extract third data, do the square of it, append it. Okay, so I'm printing this one. Then fourth iteration, fifth iteration, sixth iteration. So this is the final list L1 that you all will be able to receive. So I'm just trying to show you that how for loop is trying to append each and every data, and then at the end of the iteration, what is a final outcome that you all will be able to see over here. So in this way, for loop is going to behave. In this way, for loop is going to work, and one by one, it is going to give you the data. Now this is about the list. Now let's suppose if I'm going to take an example of a string. So a string S is equals to SUDHNSSU. Okay, I have taken my name over here. And someone is asking me a question that can you please try to extract each and every character which is available inside the string? Yes, I can do it because a string is a iterable element. It's a iterable object, and internally system is going to store all of these characters in a indexes by giving a respective indexes. So what I can do is for I in S, I can write for I in S and then print what? So print basically I, one by one, one by one, one by one, extract a data out of this string and then start printing it. So one by one, it is able to print it as a single character. Now, if someone is going to ask me a question that try to perform the same operation, but try to hold each and every character, right? Try to hold each and every character inside a list. Yes, I can hold it. So how I will be able to hold it? Let's try to create an empty list first of all, and then here, so try to do L2 dot append. Append what? So whatever value of I which I am receiving, try to append that particular value in this particular list, which is a empty list. Okay, so every time extract a data, append it, again extract the data, append it, again extract the data, append it. So it will keep on appending the data, and finally if I'm going to print L2, this is how my L2 looks like. So I'm able to extract each and every individual character, and based on this I'm able to insert a data. Simple, right? I'm able to insert a data set. So again, this is another example, basic example, I would say. So first of all, I'll just go ahead with the basic and then I'll get into a complex one. Now, next one is, let's suppose I have a list. This is the list that we have, right? Now, if someone is asking you a question that try to extract a data, try to go through this list and give me a final list. But this time, right? This time you have to separate the even number and you have to separate odd number. Means you have to create a multiple list in one single list, you have to keep all the even number. And then in a different list, you have to keep all the odd number. That is the situation in front of me. Simple? Yes. So I believe we all are able to understand the problem statement. So technically, I have to create two final lists. Out of this particular list, I have to create two final lists. In one list, I have to keep all the even number. Even number means a number which is divisible by 2. And then in another list, I have to keep all the odd number. That is something which I am supposed to perform. Okay, let's do it then. So I'll try to go through all the elements for I in L one by one, one by one. I'll just try to go through it, right? And loop will keep on looping it unless and until it is not going to exhaust the entire element. Okay. So I'll keep on getting into this one. And then maybe before that, so let me create two empty lists. So here L even, I'm going to create empty list, and L underscore odd. This is the two list which I've created. Okay. So all this list are basically empty list as of now. These two lists are basically empty list. Okay. So here I can write a condition. I can write what kind of a condition? So over here, I can write if I, the number which I'm trying to extract, because that will be holded inside a I. So I is going to hold a number which I'm extracting one by one, one by one. So it will try to check. So I can write a condition over here that if I percentile 2 is equal to 0, right? Only in that condition. And again, guys, make sure about the indentation. Most of you are going to make a mistake with respect to indentation. So here is the code. If I percentile 2 is equal to 0, in that case, what you are supposed to do? You are supposed to add everything into which list? Even list. Yes. So fine, let's do it. So L underscore even dot append what? This time append I. So whatever I that you have, just try to append it. Okay, fine. Now else what? So L underscore odd, just try to call odd and then dot append and then try to append that I. So every time it will try to fetch a data. Every time it will try to fetch a data with the help of this loop. Every time it will try to check the condition. So which condition is true? If this condition is true, append here. Otherwise, append here, right? And then execute. Now, if I'm going to print L underscore even, and if I'm going to print L underscore, I'm just printing it together. So L underscore odd, execute. So here you will be able to see two lists. You can even print it separately. That's completely fine. I'm just trying to print it like a together, right? So here you will be able to find out that I have even list where I have all the even number, which was a part of this original list. And I have an odd number, which was again a part of this particular list, right? So here, if you will try to understand this entire loop, so how this loop is working. So loop is simple. It is going through all the element, nothing more than that. Believe me, loop is nothing more than that. Just trying to go through all the element one by one, one by one, one by one. It is trying to extract the element. So value of I is equals to 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. And for every I, I'm just trying to check the condition that if I remainder 2 is equal to 0, it simply means that even number. So append it where? Into an even list. If it's not the case, then append it where? Into a odd list. That's it, guys. That's it. So loop is very simple. It's not at all scary. Sometimes it looks like it's scary, but believe me, it's not. It's a very easy concept. It just go through a data. That's it. This is what you should keep in your mind. It will always go through a data as a beginner. Sometimes you are going to make a mistake with respect to an indentation, but I believe with the experience, you will be able to handle even that particular part with the ease. Now, so let me erase this circle which I have drawn. Okay, so my slate is clean. Okay. So with string, we have seen that. Let's suppose I'm going to create a tuple. So tuple, I think we all know, simple parenthesis, I'm going to keep a data over here. Okay, fine, keep a data. Now for I in T, tuple, right? Print, and then print what? Print I, all the element. So yes, you can apply loop with respect to tuples as well. So with respect to tuples, I'm able to apply for loop and I'm able to access the data. So with list, I'm able to do it. With string, I'm able to do it. With respect to tuples, I'm able to do it. Now I'm going to show you with respect to set. Let's see whether it is going to work for me or not. So here 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? We all know the nature of set. So set always try to eliminate a duplicate element. It will always try to keep a distinct element. This is what we have studied in a set class, right? Okay, fine. So here I can write a loop for I in S, fine, and then try to print. Print what? So print basically I. Now, even from a set, we are able to access a data one by one, one by one, one by one, and we are able to print a data set. Now inside a set, let me try to keep some sort of a combination of a string, combination of maybe SUDH in SHU, which is again a string. Maybe I can try to take some sort of a floating point number. Maybe I'll try to take, okay, I think that's enough. So it is able to access the data from this particular set one by one, and it is able to print a value. It is able to give me a data. So even if it is set, you will be able to iterate over to it. Iterate means a repetitive task. Again and again, I'm trying to perform something. That is something called as iterative process. And from there, we have iterations. Okay, fine. Now, let's try to take another example. So this time I'm going to consider a dictionary. I believe we have already talked about a dictionary. Dictionary is nothing but a key value pair, right? So here I'm going to create a key. So name is equals to what? Name is equals to Sudh, which is my name. And then maybe email underscore ID. I can try to take, and my email ID is sskumar9876@gmail.com. Okay, I have made a mistake. gmail.com, and then my phone underscore number is equals to some digit. Okay, I'm not going to give a phone number in a public, otherwise I know what will happen. So yeah, here. So this is a dictionary. Fine, this is a dictionary. Now, while I was talking about a dictionary, I talked about keys and values. So KEYS, keys. Now keys are going to give you what? Keys are going to give you a list of all the keys. If I'm going to talk about dictionary.values, so it is going to give me all the values. Okay. There is something called as dictionary.items. So it is going to give me all the items. Items means key value pair in a tuple format, which will be a part of final list. Okay, fine. So I have a dictionary, right? I have a dictionary. Now I have to print all the key one by one, one by one, one by one. I can do it. So for I in D dot keys, and then print what? So print I. So one by one, one by one, one by one from this particular list. This is the keys. So one by one from this one, it will be able to extract a data, and I'm able to see the result. Again, same thing. So it is going to the element, each and every element from a beginning till last, unless and until loop is not going to exhaust itself and it is printing all the values. Again, if I have to print all the values from the dictionaries, so for I in dictionary dot values, and then print print what? Print I. Simple. So I'm able to print all the values, as you can see. Now if I have to print the items, I can do that as well. For I in D dot items, and let me print I over here. So I'm able to print all the items from the list in a tuple format. Yes, I'm able to get it. Now from this dictionary, right, if I have to access any kind of a data, right, any kind of a values, if I have to access, what I do in general. So I try to write D, and then we try to write basically keys, right? And it is going to give me the respective values. If I'm going to give dictionary keys, then it is going to give me the respective values. Now, if I have to extract all the values in this fashion, I have to write it down multiple times. Maybe I can try to automate it with the help of for loop. So here what I can do is I can write for I in dictionary D dot keys, dictionary dot D dot keys. Okay, fine. And then print what? So print D of I over here. I'm able to get a respective value. So I'm just trying to perform the exact same operations. I'm not doing anything different. This is equivalent to this operation. How this is equivalent to this operation? Let me show you that. So here, what will happen is I'm trying to write D dot keys. What is the D dot keys? List of name, email ID, and phone number. Okay, fine. So what will be the value of I? I value is equals to name in a first iteration. So here D of name, print it. D of name is what? Sudh, S-U-D-H. Then D of second time, what is the value? Email ID. So D of email ID, print it, fine. Then third time, so what is the value of I from dictionary.keys? From this one, basically it's a phone number. So D of phone number, and then try to print it. So in this way, instead of writing this once, I can just try to write it down with the help of for loop, and automatically it is going to print all the values which is available inside my system. Okay. So this is again one of the examples. So we have seen a for loop with respect to a list, with respect to a dictionary, with respect to a tuples, and with respect to a set. Now, let's try to perform some of the operations, right? Let's try to perform some of the operations with respect to a dictionaries one by one, so that I can show you a multiple operations. But before that, I would like to introduce one small function. There is a function called as range function. It's not very different. So the concept that we have discussed with respect to string list and tuples, so it follows the same operations. There is a function called as range function. I'm going to use it inside a for loop. That's the reason I'm talking about it. So range function is a kind of a function which will try to generate some data set for you. Now, what kind of a data it is going to generate? So range, let's suppose if I'm going to write 10 over here. So it is going to generate a data starting from 0 till 10, excluding 10. That is what range function does. It will always try to generate a data automatically. This is what range function does. It's an inbuilt function inside a Python, so you don't have to write anything. So let's suppose if I've written range 10, it will try to generate the data starting from 0 till 10, but excluding the upper bound, excluding the 10. But here I'm not able to see the data. So how I will be able to see the data? I can see the data. So I'll take the same thing and I'll try to wrap it up inside a list. Now you will be able to see the data. Like I said, this one is going to generate a data starting from 0 till 10, but excluding 10, just like a string when we were trying to do a string slicing operation or list slicing operation, right? So it is starting from 0, going till 10, but generating a data till 9. Finally, you will be able to get a data till 9. Now, range functions is exactly same as the slicing function that we have discussed inside a list or maybe inside a string. How? So let's suppose I'm going to write range. Okay, fine. I can give a starting point. Then I can give maybe a end point over here. So starting point, end point. So what it will do? It will start from here. If I'm not giving anything, so it will try to consider this as a end point. If I'm going to give a starting point and end point, so that is luxury I have. So here it will start from 0, go till 50, start from 0, go till 50, generate a data. Yes, generate a data, but excluding 50, excluding upper bound. Same thing as a string and a list indexing, slicing operation. So here, if I have to see the outcome, maybe I can try to wrap it up inside a list, and then I will be able to see the outcome. As you can see, it is generating a data starting from 0, going till 49, means it is trying to generate the data. Okay, fine. So here you are able to see that data is there. There is a data, but again, so it is trying to truncate it because of this width of the windows where it is showcasing you the result. Maybe I can try to write 20. It will show you the complete data. So starting from 0, going till 20, excluding 20, it is generating a data set. Now, just like a list indexing and list slicing and a string slicing operation. So we are giving upper bound, we are giving lower bound. We can even give a step size. By default, step size is what? By default, step size is going to be 1. Means every time. So starting from 0, then 0 plus 1, 1, 1 plus 2, 2, 2 plus 3, 2 plus 1, 3, 3 plus 1, 4. So in this way, it will try to generate the data. So by default, even if you are not going to give a step size, it will try to take a step size as 1. Let's suppose I have to generate a alternate data. Okay, so fine. What we can do is we can write 2 over here. As you can see, starting from 0, going till 20, generating data alternatively. So 0, 0 plus 2, 2, 2 plus 2, 4, 4 plus 2, 6, 6 plus 2, 8, 8 plus 2, 10. This is what a range function does. Maybe I can try to give this range even in a reverse order. I can say that start from 20, right? Go till 0, and then your direction should be, your jump should be negative. If you are going to give positive, it will give you blank. So starting from 20, then 19, then 18, then 17, then 16, 15, and so on, and going till 0. My upper bound is what? My upper bound is 0. Going till 0, excluding again upper bound. Simple, right? Excluding again upper bound. So here I can generate a data from any range to any range. Now, if I'm going to give jump size equal to 4, fine, 20, 20 minus 4, 16, 16 minus 4, 12, 12 minus 4, 8, 8 minus 4, 4, 4 minus 4, 0. Now 0 is the upper bound. It will not generate the data. So range function has been used to generate a data, maybe in a reverse order, maybe in a forward, backward, whatever we want. We can generate it with any kind of a step size, any kind of a jump size. Range never takes a fraction. There is a concept of a range in a library called as NumPy numerical Python. Over there, I'll be talking about a fraction. So where you can give all these things in a fractional manner, it will be able to take even a steps of fraction. It will be able to generate a fraction, but here range is always going to give you a absolute integer value. So it is going to give you the integer values all the time. Okay, fine. Now, so we are able to wrap it up inside a list and we are able to print it. Now, same thing, I can even do it with the help of for loop. For I in range, I can write it down, range. So what will happen? And print what? So print I. Okay. So internally range will generate this data, this kind of a data, not in a list format, but in a range object format. Okay. So here I'm trying to do a typecasting with a list, and that's the reason I'm able to showcase a data in this way. But internally, this is going to generate what? Exactly this data it is going to generate. Now what I'm trying to do, I'm just trying to extract the data. So first 20. So yes, 20 is there. 16 is there. 12 is there. 8 is there. 4 is there. So one by one, I'm just trying to extract the data and I'm trying to print it in this particular places. So even from a range function, I'm able to extract the data. I'm like, it's not different. It's the same thing that we are trying to perform. So I have just introduced a new range function in this particular place. That's it. Okay, fine. Now, here, right? So here, what we can do is, so maybe we can try to take a couple of examples with respect to different for loop operations. And then based on that, I can try to show you something. So here, what I can do is, so maybe I can try to take one input list. I can try to take again different example. So here I'm going to write SUDH, then I can write KUMAR, then maybe I can try to write Python over here, then JavaScript, and then maybe Java. So then C++. Now the other lecture which I'm going to prepare. So here is a list. Now I have to print this entire list. Okay, I have to print this entire list, but with indexes. Index is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4 and 5. Okay, so with indexes, I have to print each and everything. So how I will be able to print this entire list with respect to indexes? Let's try to understand. So there is a function called as enumerate function which exists inside a Python. So there is a function called as enumerate function. If I'm going to pass my list inside it, it is going to give me this particular object. Now what this object is going to hold, let's try to understand it. So what this object is holding and what it is trying to perform. See, my objective was very simple. My objective is to give an indexes to each and every one. So here, if I'm going to for I in enumerate, okay, for I enumerate and then print I, you can see the magic. What enumerate is trying to do, so whatever iterators you are going to pass over here, whatever iterable object you are going to pass over here, so for every iterable object, whatever data that we have, it will try to give our indexes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on, right? And it is going to return a tuples. It is going to return a tuples. It is going to return a tuples. So zeroth, at zeroth indexes, we have this. At first indexes, we have this. At second indexes, we have this. Third, fourth, and fifth, and so on. Indexes, we have this. Let's suppose I would like to print indexes and its elements separately. So as we know that it is printing what? It is giving me tuples. I can separate it. I can separate it in a runtime itself. So it is going to give me two data. Right? It is going to give me two data. So maybe I can try to create two variable over here and then I can try to hold it. That is also possible. How? So here, maybe I can try to create one variable called as index, another variable called as data. And here I can try to print index, index, comma, data. Execute. As you can see, index and data. So enumerate is going to return what? This one, right? Index and the data. Okay. Now I'm trying to hold these two things into a separate runtime variable inside a for loop. So index will go to this one. So it will try to fetch first of all this data, then assign 0 to this, Sudh to this one. Then we'll go to the next one, assign 1 to this one, Kumar to this one. Then it will go to this one, assign 2 to this one, Python to this one. Then again it will go to this, assign 3 to this one, JavaScript to this one. Again we'll go to this, assign 4 to this one, Java to this one. It will go to this one, assign 5 to this, and data to C++. Okay. So in this way, it will be able to extract the data. I'm just trying to print both of it. So with indexes, I am able to print all of these data. Sometime you must be having a requirement to print an indexes, not just a data. Yes, you will be able to access it. You all will be able to print it. Okay. Now let's try to consider separate example. Another example we are going to consider. So let's suppose we have a list L1, and inside this list L1, we have basically 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then we have a list L2. And inside this, we have basically SUDH, then KUMAR, and then we have SUDH and SHU, my full name. Okay. So we have two lists. In each of this list, we have basically 3 data set. Fine. We have basically 3 different kind of a data set. Now, what I want is, I want to create a pair. Pair means 1 SUDH, 2 Kumar, and 3 Sudhanshu. I would like to create a pair just like this one. Enumeration is trying to create a pair with a default indexes. But here I would like to give my own indexes, kind of a things. You can say kind of my own indexes I would like to give, and I would like to create a pair. 1 SUDH, 2 Kumar, 3 Sudhanshu. How I will be able to do it? Let's try to understand. So there is a function called as zip function. So what it will do, it will zip it. Just like your zip. Normally you try to use a zip in your jacket and everywhere, right? So it will try to zip it. Zip this side with this side, this side with this side, this side with this side. So here, if I'm going to pass L1 and if I'm going to pass L2, means both the list if I'm going to pass, right? It is going to give me a zip object. Now, what is a data which is available inside a zip? I can try to run a for loop for I in zip, and then I can try to see it, that what is the data it is holding inside. So here, this is the data it is holding. Like I said, it is going to zip the data 1 to 1, 1 to 1, 1 to 1 mapping it is going to create. So 1 with this, 2 with this, and 3 with this. It is going to create a pair of it, and then it is going to print. This is what zip is doing. With the help of for loop, I'm not doing it. With the help of zip, actually I'm doing it. For loop is just extracting this data one by one. That's it. So this is the data which will be available inside a zip object combinedly. And then I'm just trying to extract this data with the help of for loop. Nothing more than that. Very simple. Okay, fine. So here we are able to understand enumeration. So by default, it is going to give our indexes. If we have to club the data, we can try to use zip. Now let's suppose if I'm going to give 4 over here. Now execute. Okay, 4 over here. Now execute. See, we have 4 element over here and 3 element over here, but we are able to get only 3. Why? Because 1 to 1 mapping, 1 to 1 mapping. So for this fourth one, it is not able to find out any kind of a pair. If it is not able to find out any kind of a pair, not an issue. It is not going to complain. If I'm going to write something else over here, let's suppose Python, Python. See, Python is 4. So if there is a pair which is available, it will zip it. If there is no pair, it will not zip it. Simple. But yes, I can keep any number of element over here. I can keep any number of element over here. And in a sequential manner, 1 to 1, index 0 to index 0, again index 0, 1 to index 1, index 2 to index 2, index 3 to index 3. In this way, it will keep on zipping the data. Just like a normal zip operation that we try to perform. Okay, fine. Now, let's try to understand one more thing. So here, let's suppose I have a string SUDH and SHU. So this, like this, I will give you so many permutation combinations example. SUDH and SHU. Okay. Now I have to reverse the string. How I can do it? So maybe a string and then colon -1. I will be able to reverse the string. That's completely fine, right? If someone is asking me that, give me a character one by one after reversal, I can even do that with the help of for loop. But here I'll try to show you maybe something different. So for I in reversed, and then I'm going to pass a string in this particular place, and then I'm going to print I. What will happen? So this reversed is going to reverse the entire data internally, and with the help of for loop, what I'm trying to do, just extracting the data one by one. So reverse is doing this, and then one by one, I'm not doing anything. I'm just trying to extract a data. That's the only thing which I'm trying to perform over here. Nothing more than that. Okay. So hope this is making sense, guys, to all of us, and you are able to understand a for loop. So far, whatever I have discussed, you all are able to understand it. Now, let me give you another example. Okay. Let me give you another example. So let's suppose we have a list, and inside a list, we have a data like this. Now, someone is asking you a question. Let me take only 7. So someone is asking you a question that, can you please give me a summation of this entire data? Yes, I can do it by using sum. Sum of L, got the data. Summation of everything. I can try to perform the same operation even with the help of loop. That is also possible. Because see, coding is all about your imagination, right? So coding is just like a language. One single sentence, I can try to frame it in a multiple way. Similarly, I can try to write a code in a different way. So maybe one liner I can try to write, or maybe I can try to do a for loop. So for I in what? I in L. Okay. I can try to create one variable. Let's suppose A is equals to 0. Externally, I'm trying to create variable A. And then here, right, I can try to write maybe A is equals to A plus I. And then finally, A plus I. And then finally, I can try to print A. Same answer I'm able to get. So how this is working, let me show you that part as well. So here in this particular situation, it will go to L. Fine. This is my L. First of all, it will encounter 3. So I is equal to 3. Now here, A is equals to A. What is the current value of A? 0. So 0 plus 3 is equals to 3. A will become 3. Again, it will go back. It will not come here. Unless and until it is not going to terminate the loop. It will go back. Then again, I. What is the value of I? The next value 4. So I is equals to basically 4. Now I is equal to 4. So A plus I. So A is equals to A plus I. What is the current value of A? 3. What is the value of I? 4 is equals to 7. Again, it will go back. What is the value of I? I is equals to 5. So what will be the value of A in the next line? So A, current value of A plus I. I is what? I is basically 5. 7 plus 5 is equals to 12. Again, we'll go back and then we'll try to extract value of I. So value of I is equals to last time 5, right? This time it is going to be 6. Try to extract 6. So value of I is equal to 6. Now what is the value of A? A is the previous value plus new value of I. So what is the I? I is basically 6. So 12 plus 6 is equals to 18. Again, it will go back, extract 7. So find I is equals to 7. Now A is equals to what? It will do this calculation. So 18 plus 7 is equals to 25. Again, it will go back and then try to extract what? 8. I is equals to what? I is equals to 8. Okay. So A is equals to what? A is equals to 25 plus 8 is equals to 33. Now this is the answer. Now it will go to the next. There is no next element. Terminate the loop. So loop will be terminated. And finally, it will execute the next line, which is this particular line where I'm trying to print the values. So in this fashion, it will try to extract a data one by one, and then it is going to give you the final value, final outcomes. Okay, guys. So hope you all are enjoying this entire for loop. Like I said in the beginning itself, it looks scary, but it's not. We are just extracting a data with the help of for loop. Nothing more than that. Believe me, guys, nothing more than that. We are trying to perform in this entire situation that I have shown you. Okay, now let's suppose I have to generate a Fibonacci number. Now, what is the Fibonacci number, by the way? So Fibonacci number is nothing but next number is going to be the summation of previous number. That is something called as Fibonacci number. So for example, if initial number is 0 and 1, so 1 is 0 and 1 is 1, right? What is the next number? So 0 plus 1 is going to be 1. What is the next number? 1 plus 1. 1 plus 1. So it's going to be 2. What is the next number? 2 plus 1. 3. What is the next number? 3 plus 2. 5. What is the next number? 5 plus 3. 8. So every next number, let's suppose this number is n. So this n is nothing but it's a summation of n minus 1 plus n minus 2. N minus 1 and n minus 2. So every next number is going to be the summation of previous two number, right? So if we have to formalize it, maybe we can write a formula in this particular way, and that is something called as Fibonacci series, or that is something called as Fibonacci numbers. Okay, so if I have to write a code which will be able to generate a Fibonacci sequences based on my input, let's suppose if I'm saying that generate 10 Fibonacci sequence, okay, means 10 Fibonacci number, try to generate it, maybe generate 8, generate anything. Okay, so maybe I can write in this way that, okay, generate, give me 100 Fibonacci number, 2000, 1000, 1 million Fibonacci number. Obviously it will be able to generate those Fibonacci sequence in a easiest possible way. Let's try to see how. So here, let's suppose I'm trying to generate a Fibonacci number, 10 Fibonacci number if I'm going to generate. So obviously I have to iterate it that many number of times. Then only I will be able to generate, because in every iteration it will try to generate a new number which will be addition of previous two numbers. Okay, so 10 times I have to run the loop. Okay, 10 times I have to run the loop. Now how I will be able to run a loop 10 times? I need a number, right? 1 2 3 4 5 6, or 0 1 2 3 4 5 6, something like that I need. So for that I can try to use maybe a range function. I can write 10. Now what is the meaning of this 10? So meaning of this 10 is it is going to generate a 10 number. It is going to generate what? Range is going to give you what? So range is going to generate 10 number, 0 to 9 excluding 10. So 10 number it is going to generate starting from 0. So 0th time generate Fibonacci number, then first time, second time, third time, and so on. So in this way, obviously I will be able to generate 10 Fibonacci number. Okay, fine. So here I'm going to create a variable a is equals to 0, let's suppose, and b is equals to 1. I'm going to create. Okay, now I have to generate Fibonacci number, 10 such Fibonacci numbers. So what I can do, I can run a loop for 10 times. So I can write range of 10. So 10 times generate this loop, and then do what? Then do what? So then write this one, a and b is equals to b and a plus b. Why I'm writing this one, I'll try to explain. Just wait for some time. Okay, just wait for some time. And before that, try to print what? So print a. Now how this code is trying to generate a Fibonacci sequence, I'll try to explain you in some time. Just try to observe. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So 10 Fibonacci number, that was my objective. Yes, 10 Fibonacci number generation was my objective. I am able to generate it. If you'll see, 0 plus 1 1, 1 plus 1 2, 2 plus 1 3, 3 plus 2 5, 5 plus 3 8, 8 plus 5 13, 13 plus 8 21, 21 plus 13 34. So yes, I'm able to generate a Fibonacci series. How I'm able to generate it, how this code is working, let's try to understand one by one. So here I have written range 10, means this is going to generate this data. So this is basically equivalent to 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 and 9. Okay, it simply means that it is going to run the loop these many number of times. This is the meaning. It is going to run the loop. So for I is equal to 0, then I is equal to 1, then I is equal to 2, then I is equal to 3, then I is equal to 4. I don't have to do anything with I. I'm not using I anywhere in this one. Yes, I'm just trying to run the loop these many number of times. So I is equal to 0. Let's suppose a very first time loop is trying to run. So what it will do? It will come over here, print A. So what is the value of A as of now? 0. Starting point of A is 0, printing it. Then it will try to do this operation. A comma B is equals to A comma B is equals to B and A plus B. It simply means that I'm just trying to do a swap operation over here. So A will become B and B is equals to A plus B. This is the meaning of it. A will become B and B will be equal to A plus B. So here, what will be, so it is printing A is equal to 0. Now what will be the value of A? So value of A is equals to value of B. So as of now, what is the value of B? Value of B is equals to 1. So value of A is equals to 1. And what is the value of B? So B is equals to A plus B. So what is the current value of A and B? What is the current value of A and B? So current value of A is equal to 0 and current value of B is equals to 1. So 0 plus 1 is equals to 1. So b is equals to 1 in a first iteration. Then it will go for the second iteration. Now print a. What is the current value of a? 1. So printing it. Then it will try to perform this one. A is equal to b is equal to a plus b. So a is equal to b. A is equal to b means a is equal to 1. B is equal to a plus b. 1 plus 1, 2. Okay, fine. Then again go to the third iteration, go to the third loop, print a. Print a means print the value of a, 1. Then again come over here, a is equal to b. So a is equal to b is equal to 2. And b is equals to a plus b. So a plus b, 1 plus 2 is equal to 3. Okay, fine. Now again go to the loop, run it for the fourth times. And then here print a. So what is the print a? A is equal to 2. Now a is equal to b is equal to a plus b. So a is equal to b is equal to 3. And b is equal to 3, so a is equal to 3. And b is equal to a plus b. 3 plus 2, 5. Okay, fine. Now again run the loop for the fifth times. And then here print a. What is the value of a? 3. Printing it. Now do the same operation. A is equal to b means a is equal to 5. B is equal to a plus b. 5 plus 3, 8. Okay, fine. Now again go back, run the loop one more time. Print a. So a is equal to 5. Fine, printing it. Then again a is equal to b is equal to a plus b. So a is equal to b, 8. B is equals to 8 plus 5, 13. Okay, fine, done. Then again go and run the loop. So here print a. So a is equal to 8. Now again a is equal to b. So a is equals to 13. B is equals to 13 plus 8 is equals to 21. Okay. So in this way, this is running, and one by one, it is trying to generate the data. So this is nothing but I'm just trying to perform a swapping operation of both the data a and b at a time, so that in an instance, it will be having a same variable data, right? It will not be having the updated one. It will try to take the data from the previous one. So this is something called as Fibonacci number, and we are able to generate a data with respect to a Fibonacci series. So now if we have to generate a data 1000 times, 2000 times, 10,000 times, I will be able to generate the data. I just have to increase my number of iterations, number of times I'm going to run the loop, and I will be able to generate the data set out of this entire for loop. Okay. So again, another example of a for loop we are able to see over here. Now, next example I would like to give you. In the next example, so let's suppose I'm trying to generate a multiplication table. Okay, multiplication table I would like to generate for any input. Let's suppose you are going to give any kind of an input, maybe 3, maybe 4. And for that input, you would like to generate the entire table. So table of 3, table of 2, table of 11, table of 100, table of 21, right? Whatever table you would like to generate, you can generate it. So how I can write a code over here? So first of all, I'll try to take a number as an input. Okay. So int, integer input, input. And here I can write a statement, enter a number for which you would like to see a table. Okay. So user is going to enter any number for which user would like to see the table. Fine. That's completely fine. Now what I can do is I can write a code for I in range of start from 1 and then go till 11. So I have to showcase a table maybe till 10th, right? So here what range will do? So range will start from 1 and will go to 10, and then it will try to generate the number. So what range will do? Let me show you even separately. So here range is going to generate a number starting from 1 till 10 list, and here is a data set. It is going to generate a data from 1 to 10. It simply means that I'll try to run the loop 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. Okay, fine. Now print. Print what? So for any table, right? For any table, how do we generate a table? Let's suppose if I'm talking about 2, table of 2. So 2 into 1, 2 into 2, 2 into 3, 2 into 4, 2 into 5, 2 into 6. This is what we try to write. So this is going to be constant. This is going to be same. So which is going to be the input number, right? If two's table someone would like to generate, and we are just trying to increase this one, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is the reason we have taken this range over here. So that first of all, I'll try to multiply my input number with 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6, and so on. and I will be able to generate a final table. That's a whole idea. That's a whole objective behind this one. So let's try to do it, guys. So here I is equal to 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, this one, right? So whatever number user is going to input, right? Whatever number user is going to input, I just have to multiply it. So let me print it in a proper format, right? Let me print it in a proper format so that, you will be able to see a beautiful table. I can just print a result as well. So maybe I can try to write over here, number into I. I can even write this part, number into I, and I will be able to get a data, enter a number. Let's suppose I'm entering 3. So table of 3, 3 into 1, 3 2 ja, 3 3 ja, 3 4 ja, 3 5 ja, and so on, 3 10 ja, I'm able to generate. I just have to showcase in a beautiful format. So let me showcase this entire things by using a string formatting. I believe we talked about a string formatting even in my class, right? So here, what I can do is I can try to showcase with the help of string formatting over here. So let me enclose it within a string, and then here I can just try to give this one as a placeholder. So this number and then this into, I'm just trying to format the string in a proper way, is equals to number into I. Showing the same result, but in a bit formatted manner. So let's suppose 4 I'm going to enter. So 4 into 1, 4. This is just doing a formatting, guys. I'm just like placed everything with a placeholder. So in a real time, it will take the value of number, value of this one is equal to this result. That's it. So I'm just trying to do a string formatting operation, and with the help of string formatting, I'm just trying to show you that this is how my data set looks like. 4 into 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. So whatever table, let's suppose I would like to generate a table of 41, I can generate it, right? Let's suppose I would like to generate a table till 100th. I can even do that, right? I just have to increase this one range. So 101 I can keep, and then it will be able to generate a table till 100. So this is again another example of a for loop by which we are able to generate a table. Okay, guys, so this is this, and now let's try to understand one more problem statement, a star pattern. Many of us gets confused with the star pattern. So I'm going to show you one example over here, and then in my upcoming lecture, I'm going to record one lecture dedicated just for a star pattern, because many of us gets confused when we have a loop inside a loop. So I'll try to show you even that kind of a statement where we'll be having a loop inside a loop, and then you will be able to execute it. So here, what I can do is I have to print a star pattern. So maybe I can write for I in a range of 5. So 5 times I'm going to run the loop. This is what it means, right? And then print what? So print basically a star, right? A star. So if iteration is equals to 0, so just try to print it 0 plus 1 times. So here I can try to write I plus 1, execute. So first row 1 time, second row 2 times, third row 3 times, fourth row, this is my number of times I'm able to print it. So how it is working? Again, working mechanism is not a big deal. So let's try to understand range. Now what this will generate? This will generate 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Start from 0, go till 5, excluding 5. So it will generate this one. Now in a first iteration, I is equal to what? 0. Okay. So star into, this is the string, right? This is the string which I am supposed to print. So this into, how many times this string it is supposed to print? These many number of times. So I, what is the value of I? 0 plus 1. So 1 time, print it. Then I is equal to 1. Okay. So print this star, means this particular string. How many times? These many number of times. So what is the value of I? 1 plus 1, 2 times. So just try to print in this particular manner. So instead of printing a star, I can try to print anything. So let's suppose if I would like to print maybe S, my first letter of my name, capital S, execute, print 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, 4 time, 5 time. It's very, very easy, right? It gets complex a little bit, I would say, when we have a loop inside a loop. So keeping that in a mind, I'm going to create a dedicated playlist, not playlist, I would say, a dedicated video for all of you, where I'm going to show you a multiple star pattern, because I know in a college days, so in a practical lab, we used to get this as a task where we have to print a multiple star pattern. So almost every kind of a star pattern I'm going to show you so that it will be able to help you out in your college days as well. Okay, fine. So with this, I believe we are able to understand basic of for loop, guys. Now this is not the end of for loop. This is just a chapter 1 of for loop, part 1 of for loop. I will try to upload one video, at least one more videos. Not one, I believe more than that. I'll try to upload where I'm going to show you a multiple examples with respect to a for loop so that you all will feel very, very comfortable. I'm going to show you even loop inside a loop inside a loop. So nested loop kind of a statement I'm going to showcase. Again, with loop with a break and continuous statement I'm going to showcase. So all of this permutation combination, one by one, I'll keep on showing you. With that, thank you so much everyone. Hope all of you are liking this entire Python playlist series. All of you are able to learn something. So please keep on giving me your feedback, keep on giving me your guidance. I can improvise myself and I'll try to create a better and best example each and everything in my video. With that, thank you so much everyone. See you again in my next lecture.